In this video, let's take a look at equations of circles in standard form. The standard form of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. The center point is located at hk and the radius is r. We have a nice example over here that's already worked out. Let's just talk through it. We have x plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 49. So to pick out your center point, you want to change the values of the h and the k because it's minus h and minus k. So whenever in standard form they're subtracted, when you pick them out, you want to change the sign. So h would just be -1 and k is going to be +3. And then your radius, so remember from standard form, this is r squared, which in this case is 49. And we want the radius, so we have to take the square root of that number, which is where they got the radius was 7. And then when you graph it, you just want to plot that center point, so they've done that right there at -1, 3. And then the radius helps you to get 4 more points. So you go 7 units to the right, 7 units to the left, 7 units up, and 7 units down, and then that helps you to sketch your circle. Let's look at some examples of using the equation to pick out the center and the radius. So for the first one, we have x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 4. So the center point is going to be +1, +2. We just need to change those signs. The radius is going to come from the 4, but remember the 4 is r squared, so we have to take the square root of 4 and get the radius would be 2. In the next example, we have x squared by itself plus y plus 3 squared equals 16. So think of x squared is really like x minus 0 squared. So the h in this case is going to be 0. And the k value, remember, change your sign, that'll be -3. And then your radius comes from 16. So since 16 is equal to r squared, we again need to take the square root of 16, and that means our radius would just be 4. All right, for the next example, we have x minus 5 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 18. So we need a center point of 5, -2. And then our radius, it'd be the square root of 18, which when they don't come out even, sometimes they just leave them like that. But the square root of 18 is also approximately 4.2 if we were to type it in the calculator. So either one is okay, but sometimes they'll just leave it if it doesn't come out even. And in the last example of this type, we have x squared plus y squared equals 25. So if you remember from this example right here, when it doesn't have a number with x or y, it's as if it's a 0 there. They just don't write that. So it's x minus 0 squared technically, plus y minus 0 squared equals 25. So that makes our center point at the origin 0, 0. And then the radius would still come from the 25. And then we still just take the square root of that number. And that comes out evenly, so we get 5. All right, for the last two examples, we're going to find the center and the radius and graph each circle. So the center point for this example, we have x minus 5 squared plus y plus 6 squared equals 1. So our center point is going to be +5, -6. So let's go ahead and graph +5, -6. So go right 5 since it's positive. So 3, 4, 5. And then down 6 because it's negative. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our center point will be right there. And then our radius comes from 1. But remember, that's like r squared in standard form. So we need to take the square root of 1, which would give us a radius equal to 1, because the square root of 1 is still just 1. And so from your center point, you want to just plot 1 unit to the right, 1 to the left, 1 up, and 1 down. And then that helps you to just sketch a little circle with a radius of 1 and a center point at 5, -6. Okay, so one more example of circles in standard form. We have x plus 3 squared plus y squared equals 4. So my center point is going to be -3, 0. So let's go to -3. So that's left 3. And then it doesn't go up or down. It just stays at 0. So my center point would be right there. And then my radius would be the square root of 4 which would just give me 2. So from the center point, I need to go 2 units to the right and put a point, 2 to the left, 2 up, and 2 down. And then just draw a circle as best you can. All right. So that is it for circles that are in standard form.